I'm Linda from paperboutique.blogspot.com. A couple of weeks ago, I made a fun video on how to use the Cuttlebug to cut and emboss Spellbinder's nestabilities. I also demonstrated how to use the Cuttlebug to make metallic-looking embossed paper using duct tape. Well, after making the video, I decided to try embossing other types of paper, and I wanted to share with you what I discovered. The first thing I did was try to emboss napkins, and they turned out really cute. And I'll turn it over, and this is just a very inexpensive napkin that I purchased at Walmart. You could also get them at the dollar store, and this is what it looks like after it's embossed. Well, let me show you what I did. For all of the demonstrations today, I'm going to be using the A plate, the B plate, and the B plate. And I'm going to take the napkin, and I think we'll go ahead and do the paisley one. And what I did is I just covered, let's see, let me move this around so you can see it a little bit better. I just went ahead, let me brush that off. It's kind of a little static and it's moving around. There we go. I just lined it up at the edge so you can see the final one. So you just get a little bit, you get one border, and I'm going to emboss over the top of the other. I'm going to do my A plate, my B plate, and then my B plate again. And I'll bring in the Cuttlebug. Now, if you were doing this on a harder surface, when you open it, it just suctions down. But I'm not, so mine's going to move around just a little bit. And it might make a little noise, but it's very easy to do. Then let me show you what it looks like when we're finished. Just open this up, and there's the napkin. I just think it's super. I think they're super, super cute. And the fun thing is you've got something on the back. It's debossed on the back. And just make a set really easy using any of the Cuttlebug folders. Well, the next thing I'd like to show you, let me move this out of the way, is a technique that's been around a while, and rubber stampers may be familiar with it. We're going to emboss tissue paper, but you can also use tissue paper to make great backgrounds for your cards or scrapbook pages. And what I like to do is I like to take the tissue paper, put the right side down, and then I'm using regular freezer paper from, I believe this is Reynolds freezer paper. One side is sort of coated that you can see shiny, and one side is matte. You're going to go ahead and put the coated side on the wrong side of your tissue paper, and then go ahead and use your iron. I used it with the steam off, and then when you're finished, it will just adhere and be just a nice background paper, whatever you want. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to show you how to do it because you already know how to emboss, but I'll go through the steps. Then I took the paper, and because sometimes when you're working with fragile tissue paper like this, even though it's attached to the freezer paper, it'll crack. So what I did is, and pretend this isn't already embossed, I put in the tissue paper like this, and then you can tell I've already done this. I put in 2 sheets of plain blank non-embossed white cardstock, and I put it over the top of the tissue paper, then put it between my B plate and my B plate, and then I have the A plate and ran it through the Cuttlebug just like I did the napkin. And let me show you the look that you get. You really didn't get to see that up close. And that's the look. It's just really nice and soft. And if you don't have the tissue paper, if you don't have the freezer paper and want to do this, I did a little square here where I just used regular glue stick and adhered the tissue paper to a piece of just thin computer paper and then ran it through. So I just love the look, and you could use, like I said, metallic or the craft tissue paper. Anything would just be kind of a fun look. Right now I'm also into really embossing my envelopes and decorating my envelopes in the inside of my cards. Well, it would be it is so easy to use your embossing folders to emboss just the edge of your envelopes. I think this would be really elegant too if you use like the swirls on a white envelope. Well, let me show you how I did this, and I'll actually run you through this. Once again, I use the A plate and the B plate and both B plates. And this time I'm using a Sizzix folder, and the fun thing about the Cuttlebug is you can use spellbinders in it, now stabilities in it, the Cuttlebug folders, and the Sizzix folders. So what I'm doing is I'm just lining up the edge of my envelope, right like that. Then I'm going to fold it over the back and put it between my two folders, my two B's. So I've got an A, a B, the embossing folder, and a B. And they're slippery. Then I'll bring in the Cuttlebug. And this is also a little easier if you stand up. It doesn't move around, but for purposes of the video, I'm doing it seated. And then you take it out, and it's just, look how cute that is. It just gives it a darling edge. And I'll bring in the other one, and you can see the white. I didn't get it quite up to the edge like I needed to, so when you do it, make sure you get that all the way up like I did here, but I was just doing it really quick, but it gives it a nice look. And here, if you wanted to cover that, you could just put a ribbon, or next time, just make sure that when you get it, I folded it a little too far. Make sure you get it in just a little bit further. But it turns out super, super cute. And lastly, I want to show you a technique I did last year at Christmas. And I did a video on how to emboss suede paper. And this is just the paper that you can purchase that is suede, and it's backed with like a little paper. And we're going to go ahead and emboss that. Once again, I'm going to use my A plate, my B, and my B. And I think this time we'll use the flower one. I think it's called the flower folder. I may be wrong on that, but it's just a really cute one. I'll put that, the A plate, the B, the folder. Now the suede is a little bit thicker, so you have to apply a little more pressure, but it just works really, really well. And it gives you, I'll move everything out of the way so you can see, it just gives you a super, super nice look. And I'll bring in some of the things that we did today so you can tell the variety. And here, where did my envelope go? And here's my, my napkin. And here's my napkin. So just a variety of things that you can do with the Cuttlebug. Well, I'd like to thank you for watching, and please visit me at www.paperboutique.blogspot.com for more projects and ideas. Bye-bye.